Hello you, welcome to Geekism and welcome to a bit of a weird video. I kind of ummed and ahed about recording this, to be honest with you, but I think this is really interesting news, even though it isn't really much news right now. But Frontier have tweeted, and there's a forum post that we're going to take a look at as well, about the third in the Planet franchise. So, hey-o everyone. We're excited to share something incredible with you all, hot off the press before we share it with the world. We've started work on a brand new Planet game franchise. And if you head over to their forums, they basically said the same thing, but it's a little longer. We're excited to share something incredible with you all, hot off the press before we share it with the world. We've started work on a brand new Planet game franchise, which has all the familiarity you love about the Planet series, but a completely new setting for us other than Planet Coaster or Planet Zoo, one which still combines our love for creativity, management, and meaningful simulation. You'll be the very first to know about this feature game, and we'll have more to share as we continue to work on things, so watch this space. Right now, we have incredible content on the way for this year's games, including the launch of Planet Zoo 2 and Warhammer 40k. Chaos Gate Deathwatch, which we'll hope you'll check out. You can join the Discord, and there's a form there. I'll put the link in the description as well, so you can click it directly to join a mailing list for mention of this new game, basically. So very interesting stuff. They're saying that they're starting work on it. I think usually these games take sort of 3 or 4 years turnaround, so I imagine they're a bit further into development than, like, you know, putting stuff on a whiteboard in the conference room. I imagine even in this very brief and opaque reference to it, I imagine it's further in development for them to be coming to members of the public with information about it. I think we have known for a little while now that there is going to be a new CMS title, Creative Management Simulation, or Construction and Management Simulation. Depends on who you listen to, really, as to what CMS stands for. But those kind of games where you build a thing and manage it, and you can build it how you like it to look, but then also people come in and interact with it. So I think we've known for a little while that a third one of those is coming, but this is the first time that we're hearing that it is going to be branded as Planet something, and then most likely we'll be using similar systems to both Coaster and to Zoo. And all of the investment portfolio stuff that Frontier has to release, as it is a public traded company, have often mentioned for a while now that they're refocusing on these management titles. They tried to, I think, spread a little bit too wide and took a bit too much on, and they've spent the last sort of year or two refocusing on the stuff that is working for them, the stuff they know well, and the stuff that I imagine internally they can reuse a lot of stuff. You look at Planet Zoo 2 on the way, and look at Planet Coaster 2. Obviously there's differences, there's stuff that looks different, but there's some stuff that you can see has been picked up from one and placed down in the other, and I imagine all of the under the hood stuff, a lot of that can get reused and makes for a tighter workflow and means that you're not doing multiple things multiple times. It makes sense to me to really focus in on a genre and kind of become the folks that sort of nail that genre, and I would say that between Frontier and 2 Point, and then a lot of like Hooded Horse stuff, I guess, even though they're publishers rather than developers, I would say those three have kind of got this sort of management slash sim slash city builder stuff all kind of locked down, and I think that's great to see them focusing on something and just get better and better at it. So what could it be? That's kind of what I want to ask you folks and get some sort of wild speculation going, because until they tell us more, that's all we've got going for us, and I thought it would be quite fun. I'm really struggling to think of something that can provide the creative outlet and the management of Coaster or Zoo. I think a lot of games, there is definitely more space for management. If you think about things like airport creators, airport simulators, prison simulators, that kind of thing, even city builders, I guess, to an extent, there's a lot of space there for management. But if we're thinking that part of the key sort of aspects of the Planet game are these lots of different scenery pieces that you can adjust and move how you wish. You can scale them now, rotate them. I can't imagine something on the scale of a city builder necessarily taking a lot of that sort of stuff over. Imagine a city builder to the scale of City Skylines or SimCity, but you can place down the individual pillars of the porch of one of the houses. I can't necessarily see that working. So I think that the scale has got to be a little bit smaller than that. But then there are some city builders where the scale is a lot tighter. If you think of things like Foundation, where you might not be placing individual planks or tiles, but you are deciding how the church looks, for instance. Or you can look at upcoming title Neighborhoods, which is a city builder but focuses a lot more on the aesthetic and social aspects of a smaller neighborhood. Looks very exciting. So there is scope there as well, I think. So one thing we can do is take a look at trademarks then. The UK government makes all of this stuff searchable, and we can take a look at some of the stuff that they've trademarked. Now, this isn't the first time that a pile of Planet something have been trademarked, and it doesn't necessarily mean that any of these are the actual game. It is just something we can use to give ourselves a bit of an idea. Back in 2018, I think, there was a pile of these registered: Planet Prison, Planet City, Planet Zoo was one of them, though, before we got the game. So there's a chance there's something here. I just think it's worth a look. I think a lot of the time, though, that these are just used to sort of stake their flag into the ground and make sure that nobody else is kind of trying to sort of ride on the coattails of the Planet name, I think. But the ones we have here are Planet Farm, Planet Resort, Planet Festival, Planet Vacation, Planet Dinosaur, Planet Prehistoric, Planet Fantasy, Planet Mythical Creatures, Planet Dragon, and then there's some older ones that are still active: Planet Railway, Planet Soccer, Planet Transport, and then Planet Zoo down the bottom there. Some of these stick out a little bit more than others to me personally. Planet Resort, I see a lot of people suggest that that's going to be a thing. I feel like that would be very similar to Planet Coaster 2 at this point. If we got hotels added to Planet Coaster 2, between hotels and pools, I don't know, is there a completely different game there for resorts? I'd be surprised. I don't know, unless the sort of scale is a lot more zoomed out and instead you're sort of focusing on like a coastline or something. That would surprise me. Festival kind of makes sense. There have been a few different festival management games over the years. Planet Dinosaur and Planet Prehistoric I find very interesting, because obviously we have the Jurassic World Evolution games, but I do think that a Planet Zoo style game but with dinosaurs would honestly appeal to a different audience there. The Jurassic World Evolution games are fun, but I do find that the Jurassic Park and the Jurassic World branding does kind of limit them in where they can go. Even with the addition of the sort of the more Planet style of building, you know, the individual piece by piece building, I never found that I could really get it to look like what I wanted it to look like, and I still felt a little stinted compared like the Planet games often, the Jurassic games often do, compared to the bright and fun nature of the Planet games, which is much more on my street. Planet Fantasy, Planet Mythical Creatures, again, they could both work, building out a medieval village that has taverns and knights and things. That could work, I think, and I think that would work better than like a full-scale city builder. The fact that we have Planet Fantasy, Planet Mythical Creatures, and Planet Dragon all there, I don't know, that's interesting to me that all three of those sort of around the same sort of genre. My problem with a lot of these, though, as concepts, is that they just don't really have the creative freedom that something like a theme park, or to a slightly lesser extent a zoo, has from Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo. As fun as it would be to build a golf course, they all kind of look the same. Once you're out of the building, I suppose the building itself can look a bit different depending on where you are, but really it's a big stretch of green and then a nicer bit of green at the end, and there's a few bunkers, and obviously technically, mechanically, golf courses can look all different, but there isn't really the element of like theming that you get with Coaster and Zoo there, and the same goes with prisons and racing and things like that. I'd also love to see mini golf. I think you can be very creative with mini golf designs, but that just seems so close to a Planet Coaster DLC that I would be surprised if it made its own game. The one trademark I don't see any mention of here, but I do think could work really well, is something like The Movies. The Movies by Lionhead, released in 2005, is still considered one of the best management sims to this day. It had so much charm and character to it, and I think there's been a lot of games come along that have tried to replicate it and just haven't really been able to. In the game, you could set up a movie studio from the 20s and carry it right through to modern day. You place the sets down, you would have to look after your actors and your writers. The amount of creativity in the game was actually pretty impressive. You could decide the script of the movie, you could decide which scene happens and how the actors play out that scene and the sets that they use. Imagine all of that, but then also with the creative tools to build the scenes yourself, the sets yourself, because they were sort of placeholder, they were pre-built ones in the original game. But imagine being able to build them yourself with the pieces that we have in the Planet games. And it's a genre that some indie teams have tackled over the last few years, but again, I don't think any of them have really nailed it. I could definitely see that being something they could do, but that's partly just wishful thinking because I just want to play a modern version of the movies. So yeah, this video is basically just to tell you that there is a form you can go and fill in to join the waiting list for information about this, and to get a bit of a discussion going in the comments. What do you think would make a great third pillar in the Planet series of video games? Thanks so much for watching, hope you've enjoyed it. Until the next one, be good.